Hello, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. It is
a good day to read a book.
And it's all... Stop. It's true. So we're doing something a little bit different than we've done before. Normally we talk a lot about books, but this time we're going to talk about books. It's going to be so good. And we didn't practice that. We're spilling some tea. We're going to tell it like it's tea. So we have 4 books, and we're going to tell you the whole story of the whole books. So these are full spoilers. So if you don't want to hear the spoilers on any of these,
we'll see you next time.
Hey. Just to preview, what we have in the docket is we have The Haunting of Hill House and Frankenstein. And I have The Phantom of the Opera.
And I also have Dracula.
Right. So if you want to read these for yourselves, and you don't want spoilers, maybe skip this one. But honestly, we're not going to be doing absolutely everything. We're telling it like it's tea, it's gossip.
Yeah.
So it's going to be...
You should still read the books if you
hopefully this is going to be entertaining, because I think it's going to be entertaining.
Actually, going through this, I've never actually fully read either of these, or maybe it's been a
and I
long
still
time.
haven't.
Yeah, but now I'm oh, maybe I'll just actually read it.
Yeah. It's kind of fun, and we're not gonna have tons of the details of this person said that or this and that sort of thing. It's more of a brief overview, but done very snarky. Let's jump into The Haunting of Hill House. This is a book written by Shirley Jackson, and it was originally published, I think, in 1959. So
this is probably this has to be the most recent.
This is definitely the most recent of the books. Apparently it inspired a Netflix series. Yeah,
which I still have not seen. But
yeah.
I want to.
I don't, because I don't like scary things. Certainly a psychological thriller type of thing. But now for the tea. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So, all right. So there's this doctor. His name's Dr. John Montague, and he kind of wants to do a lot of studies. He wants to sort of make the paranormal aspect of things more scholarly, and he kind of believes that there's a connection between paranormal activity and psychic abilities, and he very much believes those things exist, and he wants to concrete evidence them. So he wants to do a very serious study, and he rents out the Hill House, which is very famous for being very haunted, and he's I'm going to put together the best team I possibly can, which includes a random woman who's in her mid-30s, who when she was a kid reportedly had an encounter with a poltergeist.
Okay.
And also another random woman who may or may not have psychic abilities.
Okay.
That's it. Anyway, so the woman who had the encounter with the poltergeist, her name is Eleanor, and then the psychic woman is named Theodora. But then the people who own the house, they don't live there, they own the property in the house. The woman is you can rent out this place so long as, one of my family members is around to make sure that you're fine and everything. So she sends along her nephew Luke, who is supposedly, reportedly, a liar and a thief.
Perfect.
And they're well, he's not going to be able to steal from me. So send him in. There's nothing to steal. So this really focuses, everything happens around Eleanor. So she's really the main one. Okay. So Eleanor has been living with her mom during the last few years of her mom's life. She's really been taking care of her mom. She's the youngest of the family. And after her mom died, she moved in with her sister, who really doesn't treats her like the baby sister. So she's got some insecurities there for sure. She feels like she's, never had a chance to be independent. Everybody treats her like she's a baby, she never got to live on her own, all these things. So she finds out that she's going to be part of this study, and she's really excited. But everyone else is this is a bad idea. Why would you do this? Because why would you do this? Anyway, it has nothing to do with you being young. It has everything to do with this is not a good idea.
Yeah.
But she takes that as an insult, so she steals her brother-in-law's car and drives herself out there.
As babies will do.
As they do. So she shows up at this house, and immediately she's just like, this place ain't great. Like, it is scary. Like, every instinct in her body is like, run away. And she's like, no, I'm a big girl. So
they told me I couldn't do it.
Now they couldn't, and I have to. And even the house is telling me not to, and I'm going to do it anyway. So she stays. She shows up. She meets the caretakers, which are her husband and wife, who are like the crankiest, meanest people ever. And they're just like so put out that she's there or that they exist at all. So they show her to her room, and they're like showing her a few things, and they're just like, hey, okay, so as soon as it's dark, you should not leave this house. Like, you should leave now. Like, honestly, you should not be here at all. But like, no matter what, don't leave the house when it's dark. And she's like, okay, but if you need help and stuff, like, or if I need help, you'll be there. And they're like, no. They're like, we're not staying here. We're going home. And she's like, oh, but you'll hear us if like we scream. And they're like, no. No one will. You are nowhere nearby anybody. You can scream all you want. No one's coming. And even if they hear you, they're still not gonna come, and we're definitely not gonna come. So she's like, great. So she's getting a bit nervous. Then Theodora shows up, and immediately the two women like are just like besties. So Eleanor sees Theodora, and she's just like, this woman's cool. She's like independent and awesome and so very interesting. I want to be like her. So she like velcros onto Theodora, and the two of them like start joking. They're like, we could be cousins. He 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 he. You know, just like a little bit really
named after the Roosevelts.
Yeah. So commonality. So she like finds, or they become friends, and I think a lot of it was like, they're just so relieved that there's somebody else there and they're not alone, and like that's nice. And while they're kind of getting together, then eventually Dr. John Montague, so the doctor, and Luke show up at the same time, and they all find their way to dinner because that's the time it is. And while they're going, they're like, this house is nuts. It makes no sense. It's really hard to like navigate around. It's like the doors automatically swing shut behind them, which is spooky. There's like, the rooms are dark, and it's like very oppressive feeling. So immediately they're like, all right, ground rules. Nobody walks around alone. It's buddy system at all times. And also, prop open every single door.
Yeah.
Like, put something in the door so that it will not close. Or, because this is just, we're going to get lost and it's scary.
Yeah.
So they get to dinner, and the doctor's like, okay, I guess I should tell you about, like, the history of this house.
Yeah.
But, I just want you all to know, like, please don't be scared, because the last person who, like, was living here, and they, like, fleed the house at night, specifically at night, that guy, like, and it was horsey times then. He's like, that guy rode his horse and into a tree and was crushed against this oak tree, and he died. And they're just like, okay.
Don't panic. Rule number 1.
Yeah, so what's the history of this house? The house is like 80 years old. This guy, Hugo Crane, built this house, and he built it intentionally to be like a maze. Like, it circles and circles and circles. It's supposed to be really hard to navigate. Why? I don't know. That sounds horrible. But this guy was like, my dream home. Tragedy struck real fast. His wife never even got to see the house. The carriage that she was in flipped over in the driveway, and she died before she even got into the house.
Okay.
Hugo Crane, being incredibly heartbroken, decided that, he was going to raise his 2 daughters in the home, and, that he did. So these women grew up there, and they lived there, and after he died, fought viciously over who was going to own this house. It eventually went to the older sister, who lived there alone, but she took like this woman from the village, like to be her companion, and just like friend lived there with her and stuff. They were roommates. And when the sister, so when the woman died, the sister died, the older sister, when the older sister died, the younger sister didn't get the house because the older sister willed it to her friend.
Friend.
Yeah. which I'm sure went over very well with the younger sister, who started a smear campaign against the lady. And got the whole village against her too, and they were already like, oh, there she is with all her heirs living in the mansion, you know. So they were like, you manipulated this woman into liking you and all this stuff. So very tragically, she climbed her way to the tallest turret of the house, and a rope and a short stop ended that struggle. But the house still did not go to the younger sister. The house went to the caretaker's family, who now currently owns it. And Luke, who's now in this thing, is the nephew of the people who own it.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and he's set to inherit it when, you know, they all off they go.
So the younger sister's still just out there somewhere being mad.
Like the house was built 80 years ago.
Oh, so she's
probably
maybe died.
I think so.
Causes,
yeah, I think
at the very least.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Or like very close to it.
Yeah.
I don't think this is like a weird Moriarty thing.
She's not still trying to get it.
I don't think so. Unless her spirit is, which...
Well, maybe. Okay. Yeah.
So people have like lived here every so often, or like they've rented it.
Yeah.
Nobody's lasted long.
Sure.
Some people have fled. Other people have ridden a horse into a tree. You know, like all sorts of things. So now that we've got like the history of this house, not great. Now begins the investigation.
We want to prove that there are actually spirits here.
Yeah, but it's like we specifically want to prove that it's connected to like psychic events and things. So it's like how they're doing this, I genuinely have no idea. I'm not sure they have any idea. Because a lot of this turns into like focusing around Eleanor.
Yeah.
So in a lot of ways, girls, so they start like looking around. And they're like finding that like the doors are swinging shut even though they were propped open. And like the professor was just like, it's fine.
It's just drafty.
Yeah, it's like the house was built weird. It's okay.
Yeah.
And then there's one night where Eleanor's in her room and she starts hearing a lot of creepy noises and stuff. So she gets scared and she goes over to Theodora's room, who's right across the hallway. And they're both in there. And there's like, all of a sudden there's banging, there's like a wind blowing, it's like they're getting, like the room is assaulting them. And they're both like screaming. But Eleanor's like, you're being such a baby. It's not a big deal. I'm like, girl, you went to her room.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? But also Eleanor's like surprised that Theodora is seeing these things as well.
Okay.
Which is interesting.
Like, oh, I'm not crazy.
Yeah, she's like, oh, it's not just me. Oh, interesting. Which means that why would she automatically think it's just her thoughts?
Yeah.
So they're screaming, and then the men like come in, and they're just like, what's wrong? And the girls are like, did you not hear all this stuff? And they're like, no, there was like a figure or something in the hallways. We were like chasing some sort of animal.
We were doing a whole thing.
Yeah, there was a whole other thing going on over here. And, like, but it was not talked about.
Okay.
Because Eleanor was like, no, but me.
Yeah.
And they're like walking around and they're exploring some more for like over a week. They're like exploring, they find like a cold spot, so like a spot in the house that is like strangely freezing.
Yeah.
They find that there's like a nasty smell in the library, which is very unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because libraries, great places to be. And at one point, several of them go walking in the woods around the house, and it's like kind of getting dark. And while they're walking, it's getting darker and darker, and it's like creepy. But then all of a sudden, where they're standing, it is full daytime, like middle of the day.
Okay.
And in front of them is like a family having a nice little picnic, which like wouldn't be creepy, except that it's like 9:00 at night.
Yeah.
And that meadow is like,
well, how are the family dressed?
too perfect. I don't know, because they were just like, nope.
Just wondering if they're like dressed in period of the time, like 19 whatever.
Honestly,
or
I think really, I think the problem
or they
would have
just
been
were
the
like
same.
not even getting close enough to
No,
tell
just like
if they were real.
They dipped down out of there.
Okay.
So while this is all going on, there's a lot of weird stuff going on with Eleanor.
Yeah.
For starters, they find that there's somebody wrote in the hallway with chalk the words, Eleanor, come home.
Okay.
So everybody's just like, can you stop being such an attention hog? It doesn't have to be about you. Yeah, they totally think Eleanor did it.
Okay.
And she's just like, what? Like, she's so whiny. And she, every time they're like having conversations, she's like spacing out, and like she's just not paying attention, or she's just like starts saying really random stuff that like is very much like, I like red nail polish, you know, like just like let me talk about me, you know. So they're kind of like,
yeah, they're like already annoyed by her.
So they're very much like, you know, it's not about you.
We're trying to do real
trying to do
here.
science. So Theodora is also like trying to sort of distance herself because Eleanor's very Velcro-y.
Right.
And Theodora's like, it's fine. No, you can stay here. You know, like that sort of thing. So Theodora goes to her room, finds that all of her room is trashed. Like all of her clothes are torn up, and on the wall, written in blood, are the words, help Eleanor, come home Eleanor. And they're just like...
But if it's written in blood, someone has to be bleeding.
Yeah.
If Eleanor doesn't have, if she has not...
Yeah, but so Eleanor walks in, she goes, I wonder if it's red nail polish, which there was this whole thing where Theodora like painted Eleanor's shoe, or Eleanor's toenails, and they were red.
Yeah.
And Eleanor was like, only sex workers wear red toenails. She was just like, you know, so like very judgy and weird. So it was a weird one. So there was like, everyone's just like, So then the doctor, Montague, his wife randomly shows up with this other guy, Arthur.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So she's,
Arthur?
I don't know. I don't know. It's her friend. I don't know. He is her friend. His name is Arthur. Is he important? Not actually, other than like, what?
Yeah.
So Mrs. Montague is all like, you haven't solved the mystery yet? You haven't done your science yet? What a loser. I'm going to do this better than you. Ouija board. She pulls out a planchet.
Arthur, the board?
And like the husband, Dr. Montague's like, no! Because he's like, if you're here, I'm losing all credibility because your science is bad science, because she's all like psychic, you know, like she's more on like the like spiritualized side of things, and he's like, no, I want to demand science. And his wife is just, I don't think they get along at all. I don't know how their relationship is outside of a scientific expedition, but it doesn't look good. But so she's there, and she like does a Ouija board thing, and they do a little seance-y thing, and comes in with the words of Nell, home, and mother, and everyone like just kind of goes like, Eleanor, what are you doing?
Is Nell
Nell, Eleanor, yeah.
A nickname
So
for Eleanor?
yeah, it's a nickname for Eleanor. So everyone's just like, Eleanor, you messed up the thing and you're drama hogging again. And she's like, it wasn't me.
Yeah.
So Mrs. Montague and Arthur are like, you know what? Ghosts, they really just want love. They just want to have connection and have security, you know. So what we're going to do is that we're going to spend the night in the nursery, which is the most haunted, scary place in the house.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And she's like, I'm gonna commune with the spirits, and I'm gonna make sure that they feel safe and everything. So they go, and they're off on their own. The rest of them are just like, how about we like stay in the same room tonight? Like, we're not comfortable being in our individual rooms. There's been enough scary stuff happening, and it's just not great. So throughout that night, like they get so haunted. Like there's banging, it's like winds blowing, there's screaming out the windows, like all this other stuff. Like they are run ragged. Yeah. And Eleanor's sitting there, and all of a sudden, like she's just like, she's spacing out, and internally she's just like, I feel the house crushing in on me and trying to take over my body.
The house itself.
Yeah, and she's like, Okay, so she lets the house possess her. And so she blacks out, and when she comes...
so the cover makes more sense now.
Here's the cover. She is the house. So, so she lets the house possess her. She blacks out. When she wakes up in the morning, nobody's dead.
Okay.
At this time. And everyone's just like, they're bruised, they're battered, they're just like, I've seen some things. And she's like, what happened? They're like, it was bad, man.
She's like, I'm a house.
Yeah. So they go to check on like Mrs. Montague and her friend, and they're like sleeping like a baby. Nothing happened to them whatsoever.
Of course.
That's
classic.
So there's a few more days are going by, and Eleanor is starting to realize that she can hear things. Like if something happens, it is said, whatever, inside the house, does not matter where she is, she can hear it.
Okay.
And like one night she starts to hear like something is calling her. So she leaves her room and she's like drawn by a voice that sounds like her mother, like calling her, going towards the library. And she gets over to the library and she's like, okay, all right. And turns right around and starts banging on everybody's doors, on the windows, starts screaming in the hallways, all this other stuff. And she's like, oh, I'm the haunting now.
I'm the problem.
I'm the one.
I'm one of the house. The house is one with me.
And she's like, cool. This doesn't seem like a problem for her at all.
Yeah.
She's like, this is the way now. So she is like, I can now be free. I'm liberated. It will be great. So she makes her way to the library. And while she's doing this, everybody's kind of gathered and they're like, Eleanor has been walking around by herself at night in the house by herself. Uh-oh. And oh no, she's going to the library where the stairs to the turret are, where the last person who went up there rope and drop. And they're like, we gotta stop her. So they go running after her. Luke actually manages to climb up after her because, thief. Climb up after her and convince her to come down. And as he's like talking her out of it, she's like, it's like she becomes more clear-headed and she's like, oh, I didn't want to do this. Okay. So she comes down, and as soon as she gets down, they're like, you need to leave. Yeah. Like, this is not safe for you. This house is like taking over you. You're not going to survive this. Like there's too much going on here. So like one of them is like, well, I'll drive you home. And the doctor's like, no, you need a full break. Like there has to be no connection. And she's like, this whole time, she's like, no, this is my home. Like this is where I belong. I literally packed up every single one of my belongings and brought it here for some reason. I don't know why. Okay. And like, she's just like adamant, like, I'm staying. And they're like, no, you have to leave. And the doctor's like, 100%, cold turkey, no connections. None of us are coming with you. You have to fully remove yourself from this situation. So they force her they get her into her car. They give her her keys. She turns on her car. And as she's driving away, the house.
What happened?
Well, the house. And she's, she's just not like fully in control of herself. Yeah. As her foot presses down on the gas. And just as she is driving, she is thinking, wait, why am I doing this? Why is nobody stopping me? As she smashes into the same tree. The same tree. And does not make it. So very shortly after that, the expedition concludes because that didn't go well. Dr. Montague wrote a whole paper about the entire experience. Okay. He is thoroughly ridiculed. Okay. Nobody has believed that this is the scientific discovery of a lifetime. No. And Eleanor went home to wherever home is. And that is the Haunting of Hill House. Right.
Quite the ending.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I do want to watch the show.
Yeah.
I'm interested how it's not hard to make a haunted house movie. It's like to make the scary feelings.
Yeah.
Just like a door slamming or whatever. I
was talking to somebody and they said that there's a really cool scene where, because is there a movie too, or is it just a series?
I think it's a series, but there was like this one and another one
Yeah.
by the same creator. I don't think they're related, but like
Yeah, like have some sort of connections.
yeah.
So, they were saying though that there's a scene where like there's the shadows on the walls, and you know, like when it's dark and stuff, you kind of like make images of stuff. There's a part where like the shadows on the walls make like an like a face kind of shape. It's not like pointed out like there's a face, but it's
Yeah,
like you
it's just
see
there.
it and you kind of like see her perspective, and they said like that was really well done.
Yeah.
So if you like those things, there you go. There's a lot more like in the book, obviously.
Yeah.
That was just the gossipy overtell, but
Yeah.
So there you go. There's the Haunting of Hill House
By Shirley Jackson.
by Shirley Jackson. So thank you for joining us. I think we'll see you next time. All right. All right, everyone. Bye.
Bye.